Welcome. Tonight, we're going to explore something ancient and enduring, something that has brought comfort to countless hearts across more than 2,000 years. We're going to rest together in the gentle wisdom of the Buddha, whose teachings offer not rules to follow or beliefs to adopt, but rather a compassionate understanding of what it means to be human, to struggle, and to find peace within that struggle. If these teachings bring you comfort tonight, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. It helps others who are searching for peace find their way here as well. And if there are other topics you'd like explored in this gentle way, leave a comment below. Your suggestions help guide what we create next. But for now, just settle in and let yourself rest. If you've found your way here tonight, it's because some part of you is seeking rest, not just for your body, but for your heart and mind as well. Perhaps you've been carrying worries that feel too heavy, or maybe you've been moving through your days feeling somehow disconnected from the stillness you crave. Whatever brought you here, you're welcome. You're safe. And for the next while, there's nowhere else you need to be. Before we begin, I want you to know that you don't need to do anything right now except listen. You don't need to remember every word or grasp every concept. This isn't a lesson to study or a test to pass. This is simply an invitation to let these ancient truths wash over you like warm water, soothing the parts of you that have been tense, offering comfort to the corners of your being that have been lonely or afraid. The Buddhist teachings are like medicine for the heart. They don't promise to take away all pain or eliminate every challenge from your life. Instead, they offer something more valuable. They help you understand the nature of your suffering. They show you that you're not alone in your struggles. And they gently guide you toward a way of being that creates less suffering and more peace, both for yourself and for everyone around you. So take a deep breath now. Let your body settle into whatever position feels most comfortable. Feel the weight of your body supported by whatever surface holds you. Notice how you don't have to hold yourself up, how you can simply let go and be held. Your breath will continue on its own. Your heart will keep beating. And as we move through these teachings together, you can drift in and out of attention, floating between wakefulness and sleep, knowing that whatever your mind needs to hear will find its way to you. Let's begin with the story of how these teachings came to be, because it's a story about someone just like you, someone who experienced confusion and pain and went searching for answers. More than 2,500 years ago, in what is now Nepal, a young prince was born into extraordinary privilege. His name was Siddhartha Gautama, and his father, wanting to protect his son from any knowledge of suffering, created a palace life of complete luxury and comfort. Siddhartha grew up surrounded by beauty, pleasure, and every material comfort imaginable. He was educated in the arts and sciences, trained in princely duties, and eventually married and had a son. From the outside, his life appeared perfect. But something inside Siddhartha felt unsettled, incomplete. Despite all the pleasures available to him, he sensed that something crucial was missing. One day, venturing beyond the palace walls for the first time, he encountered 4 sights that would change his life and, ultimately, change the spiritual landscape of the world. He saw an old person bent with age. He saw someone suffering from illness. He saw a corpse being carried to funeral rites. And finally, he saw a wandering ascetic, someone who had renounced worldly life in search of spiritual truth. These encounters awakened Siddhartha to the reality that all human beings, regardless of wealth or status, face aging, sickness, and death. The protective bubble of his palace life had burst, and he could no longer ignore the fundamental questions of human existence. How do we find peace when everything we love is impermanent? How do we cope with suffering? Is there a way to be truly free? At the age of 29, Siddhartha made a radical choice. He left his palace, his family, his position, everything he had known, and became a wandering seeker. For 6 years, he studied with renowned spiritual teachers and practiced extreme asceticism, denying his body food and comfort, pushing himself to the very edge of survival, believing that liberation might come through conquering physical desires completely. But this extreme path nearly killed him, and he realized it brought him no closer to the peace he sought. Neither indulgence in pleasure nor punishment through deprivation had brought him answers. There had to be another way, something between these two extremes. One evening, weak from fasting, Siddhartha accepted a bowl of rice milk from a young woman named Sujata. With his body nourished and his mind calm, he sat beneath a large fig tree, later known as the Bodhi tree, and made a vow. He would sit in meditation until he understood the nature of suffering and found the path to liberation. For 49 days, he sat in deep contemplation, looking inward with unwavering attention, examining the nature of his mind, his attachments, his fears, and his desires. And then, on the night of the full moon, something shifted. Understanding arose like the dawn. Siddhartha saw clearly the interconnected nature of all things, the causes of suffering, and the path that leads to freedom. In that moment, he became the Buddha, which simply means the awakened one. He had not become a god or gained supernatural powers. He had simply woken up to the truth of existence, and this awakening brought with it a profound peace and compassion for all beings. The Buddha spent the remaining 45 years of his life sharing what he had discovered, walking from village to village, teaching anyone who wished to learn, from kings to outcasts, from the educated to the illiterate. His teachings were not meant to create a religion, but to offer practical guidance for anyone seeking to understand and transcend suffering. He encouraged people not to accept his words on faith, but to test them against their own experience, to see for themselves what brings peace and what creates suffering. Now, let's settle into the heart of what the Buddha discovered beneath that tree, the truths he spent his life sharing, starting with what are known as the Four Noble Truths. These aren't commandments or beliefs you must hold. They're observations about the nature of human experience, invitations to look honestly at your own life and see if they ring true for you. The first noble truth is often translated as life is suffering, but that translation can feel harsh, even hopeless. A more nuanced understanding is that life contains dukkha, a Pali word that encompasses suffering, dissatisfaction, unease, and the sense that something is not quite right. It's that feeling you have when things aren't going the way you want them to, when you're uncomfortable, when you're anxious about the future or regretful about the past, when you're sick or tired or lonely or frustrated. The Buddha wasn't being pessimistic when he identified this truth. He was simply being honest. Think about your own life for a moment. Even when things are going well, isn't there often an underlying worry that it won't last? When you're happy, isn't there sometimes a fear of losing that happiness? When you're with people you love, doesn't the awareness of eventual separation create a bittersweet quality to your joy? This truth acknowledges that being human inherently involves encountering difficulty. We experience physical pain when our bodies are hurt or ill. We experience emotional pain when we lose people we love, when relationships end, when we fail to achieve what we hoped for. We experience the pain of boredom, of feeling trapped, of not knowing what we truly want or who we truly are. We face the inevitable realities of aging, where our bodies slowly lose their strength and vitality. We face sickness that can strike at any time. And we face death, the ultimate uncertainty, the final letting go. But here's what's important. The Buddha wasn't trying to make you depressed by pointing this out. He was trying to free you from the illusion that you could somehow escape these aspects of existence. So many of our problems come from fighting against the basic realities of life, from believing that if we just tried hard enough, were successful enough, loved enough, or had enough, we could somehow transcend the human condition. The first noble truth is actually deeply compassionate because it says, you're not doing something wrong if you're struggling. You're not broken if you feel pain. You're not failing if life sometimes feels difficult. This is simply what it means to be human. And in acknowledging this openly, we can stop exhausting ourselves trying to create a life completely free from difficulty, and instead learn how to be with difficulty in a way that creates less additional suffering. There's a traditional metaphor that explains this beautifully. When you're struck by an arrow, that's the first arrow, the unavoidable pain of being alive. But then we often shoot ourselves with a second arrow. Our reaction to the pain, our resistance to it, our stories about how it shouldn't be happening, our shame about feeling what we feel, our panic about the future. The Buddha's teachings are about recognizing that while we can't always avoid the first arrow, we can learn to put down the second one. Take a moment now and notice your breath. Don't try to change it. Just observe it moving in and out of your body. This simple act of breathing contains both the first noble truth and the path beyond it. The breath is impermanent, always changing, never the same from one moment to the next. And yet, in simply being present with it without resistance, there can be peace. The second noble truth explores the causes of our suffering, and this is where the Buddha's insight becomes especially helpful. He taught that the root cause of our dissatisfaction is tanha, which is usually translated as craving or thirst. But it's more subtle than just wanting things. It's the compulsive quality of our desires, the way we grasp after pleasures, push away discomforts, and try to freeze the ever-changing flow of life into fixed states. There are three main types of this craving. The first is the craving for pleasant experiences. We want things that feel good, taste good, sound good, look good. We want praise and success and comfort. And there's nothing inherently wrong with enjoying pleasant things. The problem arises when we become attached to these pleasures, when we start to believe that our happiness depends on having them, when we can't be at peace without them. The second type of craving is the desire to avoid or push away unpleasant experiences. We don't want to feel pain, physically or emotionally. We don't want to feel bored or anxious or sad. We don't want to deal with difficult people or challenging situations. And so we spend enormous amounts of energy trying to arrange our lives to minimize discomfort. But this very act of resistance often creates more suffering than the original discomfort ever did. The third type of craving is more subtle. It's the craving for things to stay the same, or the craving for things to be different than they are. We want our youth to last forever. We want our loved ones to never change. We want to hold on to happy moments and never let them go. Or conversely, we want our present circumstances to be completely different, and we can't accept where we are right now. This resistance to the natural flow and impermanence of life creates a constant undercurrent of tension and dissatisfaction. Underneath all these cravings is a deeper misunderstanding, what the Buddha called avidya or ignorance. This isn't ignorance in the sense of lack of information. It's ignorance about the fundamental nature of reality. Specifically, it's the illusion that we are separate, independent selves that exist apart from everything else, and that these selves need to be protected, defended, and constantly satisfied. This sense of being a separate self creates a fundamental anxiety. If I'm separate from everything else, then I'm vulnerable. I need to protect myself. I need to make sure I get enough of what I want and avoid what I don't want. I need to build walls and defenses. And so we spend our lives trying to arrange the world to suit this separate self, trying to control the uncontrollable, trying to make permanent what is inherently impermanent. The Buddha taught that this separate self is actually an illusion, a mental construction. This doesn't mean you don't exist. It means that the solid, independent, unchanging you that you think you are is actually a constantly changing process, intimately connected to everything around you. You are more like a river than a rock, always flowing, always in relationship with your environment, never separate from the whole. Think about it. The air you breathe was just outside your body moments ago and will be outside again in moments. The food you eat becomes your body. Your thoughts are shaped by the culture you were raised in, the books you've read, the conversations you've had. Your sense of who you are changes depending on the situation you're in, the people you're with, even the time of day. Where exactly is this fixed, permanent self? Understanding this doesn't make you disappear. It actually makes you more whole, because you realize you're not trapped inside a tiny, vulnerable ego that needs constant defending. You're part of the vast, interconnected web of existence, and in recognizing this, there's a natural relaxation, a release from the constant strain of self-protection. Let your body relax a little more now. Feel how it's connected to everything around it, supported by the surface beneath you, embraced by the air around you, part of the living, breathing earth. There's nothing you need to defend right now, nothing you need to prove. You can simply be. The second noble truth might sound depressing at first. Our suffering comes from our craving and ignorance. But actually, it's profoundly hopeful. Because if suffering is caused by something we're doing, by how we're relating to our experience, then that means we have the power to create less suffering. We're not helpless victims of a cruel universe. We're active participants in our own experience, and we can learn to participate differently. This brings us to the third noble truth, which is perhaps the most hopeful thing the Buddha ever said. Suffering can end. Not that life will suddenly become free from pain, aging, sickness, or death, but that our relationship to these inevitable aspects of life can transform so completely that we stop creating additional suffering on top of them. The Buddha described this state as nirvana, which literally means extinguishing or blowing out, like a candle flame being gently blown out. What's being extinguished is the flame of craving, the fire of constant grasping and aversion. Nirvana is not a place you go after you die. It's a state of being you can touch in this very life when the mind is released from its compulsive patterns, when you're fully present without resistance to what is. Some people misunderstand nirvana as a kind of emotionless void, but that's not accurate at all. When the Buddha described his own experience of awakening and freedom, he spoke of it with words like peace, contentment, joy, and compassion. It's not that you stop feeling things, it's that you stop being driven by unconscious reactivity. You stop adding layers of unnecessary suffering onto your direct experience. Imagine for a moment what it would be like to be completely okay with whatever you're feeling in any given moment. Not trying to push away discomfort or cling to pleasure. Not judging yourself for your emotions or trying to be someone you're not. Just fully present, fully alive, meeting each moment with openness and kindness. That's a taste of what nirvana points toward. And here's the beautiful thing. You don't have to be perfect to experience moments of this freedom. Even now, as you lie here listening, when your mind is quiet and your body is relaxed, when you're not caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past, you're touching something close to this peace. It's not somewhere far away that you need to attain. It's here, available in any moment when you stop struggling and simply allow yourself to be. The fourth noble truth is practical and empowering. It says there is a path that leads to the end of suffering, and the Buddha laid out this path in clear, accessible steps. This path is called the Noble Eightfold Path, and it's like a roadmap for living in a way that creates less suffering and more peace. Not just for yourself, but for everyone your life touches. The word right is used to describe each aspect of the path, but this doesn't mean right as opposed to wrong in a moralistic sense. A better translation might be wise, or skillful, or helpful. These are ways of thinking and acting that naturally lead toward freedom and peace, rather than toward more entanglement and suffering. The Eightfold Path is traditionally divided into 3 groups: wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline. Let's explore each part gently, not as a set of rules to follow perfectly, but as kind guidance for finding your way through the complexities of being human. The first two aspects relate to wisdom. Right view, or wise understanding, means seeing things as they truly are, not as we wish them to be or fear them to be. It means understanding the Four Noble Truths we've been exploring, recognizing the law of cause and effect in your life, seeing that your actions have consequences, and understanding the impermanent, interconnected nature of all things. Right view is about clearing away the fog of delusion that clouds our perception. So much of our suffering comes from misunderstanding situations, from taking things personally that aren't personal, from believing our anxious thoughts are absolute truths, from seeing ourselves as separate when we're actually deeply connected. Cultivating right view doesn't mean you need to adopt a particular philosophy or belief system. It means becoming curious about your own perceptions. When you're upset, can you pause and ask, is my understanding of this situation complete? Am I seeing clearly, or am I filtering everything through my fears and assumptions? Am I remembering that everything changes, including this difficult moment? Right. Intention, or wise aspiration, flows naturally from right view. When you see clearly, you naturally want to move in directions that lead toward freedom and away from suffering. Right intention specifically refers to three qualities: the intention of renunciation, which means letting go of excessive attachments to sensory pleasures; the intention of goodwill, wishing well for yourself and others; and the intention of harmlessness, choosing not to cause hurt. These intentions shape the direction of your heart. Before you speak or act, what's your motivation? Are you trying to get something for yourself at someone else's expense? Are you lashing out from hurt? Or are you genuinely hoping for the well-being of everyone involved, including yourself? Your intentions set the trajectory for your actions, and they either lead toward more connection and peace or toward more isolation and suffering. Take a moment now to set an intention for this very moment. Perhaps it's simply, may I rest deeply? May I release my worries for now? May I be gentle with myself? Feel how different this is from forcing yourself to relax or judging yourself for not being relaxed enough. An intention is like a gentle direction you point your heart in, and then you let go and allow things to unfold. The next three aspects of the path relate to ethical conduct, to how we interact with the world and with other people. Right speech means speaking in ways that are truthful, that don't cause harm, that don't create divisions between people, and that are meaningful rather than mere gossip or empty chatter. Think about how much of our suffering involves speech. Words can wound deeply. Lies create tangles of confusion and mistrust. Harsh speech hurts both the speaker and the listener. Gossip and divisive talk poison relationships and communities. And idle chatter, while sometimes harmless, can keep us distracted from deeper truths and more authentic connection. Right speech invites you to pause before you speak and ask, is what I'm about to say true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Will it bring more harm or more healing? This doesn't mean you can never express difficult truths, or that you must always stay silent about problems. It means speaking with awareness of the impact your words have and choosing to use this powerful tool in service of connection and understanding, rather than in service of ego or cruelty. Even your inner speech matters. How do you talk to yourself in the privacy of your own mind? Are you harsh and critical, constantly pointing out your flaws and failures? Or can you speak to yourself with the same kindness and encouragement you would offer a dear friend? The Buddha taught that our minds are shaped by our thoughts, and the thoughts you repeatedly think become the grooves along which your mind habitually travels. Right action means behaving in ways that don't harm yourself or others. The Buddha offered 5 basic ethical guidelines. Don't kill or harm living beings. Don't take what isn't given. Don't engage in sexual misconduct. Don't lie. And don't cloud your mind with intoxicants. These aren't commandments from a divine authority. They're practical observations about actions that create suffering versus actions that create well-being. When you harm another being, you harm yourself, not because of some external punishment, but because the very act of causing harm hardens your heart, disconnects you from your natural compassion, and creates ripples of suffering that come back to you in countless ways. When you take what isn't given, you're acting from a sense of scarcity and separation that deepens your own feeling of lack. When you lie, you create confusion and mistrust that undermines all your relationships, including your relationship with yourself. Right? Action is ultimately about recognizing that your well-being and others' well-being are not separate. When you act with care and kindness, you create conditions for everyone to flourish, including yourself. When you act harmfully, everyone suffers, including you. Right livelihood extends this ethical awareness to how you make your living. It means not engaging in work that directly harms beings, such as work that involves killing, exploitation, intoxication of others, deception, or weapons. More broadly, it invites you to consider, does the work you do contribute to the well-being of the world, or does it create suffering? This can be a challenging teaching because we live in complex economic systems where it's not always clear what constitutes harmless livelihood. The invitation is simply to be honest with yourself about the impact of your work and, where possible, to move in directions that feel more aligned with your deepest values. Recognizing that sometimes immediate choices are limited, but the direction you set matters. The final 3 aspects of the path relate to mental discipline, to training the mind itself. Right effort means cultivating wholesome qualities in your mind and letting go of unwholesome ones. It involves 4 types of effort: preventing new unwholesome states from arising, abandoning unwholesome states that have already arisen, cultivating new wholesome states, and maintaining wholesome states that are already present. This might sound complicated, but it's actually quite natural. Right effort is about paying attention to the garden of your mind. When you notice seeds of anger, hatred, jealousy, or fear beginning to sprout, you don't feed them with attention and stories. You acknowledge them without judgment and gently redirect your attention elsewhere. And when you notice seeds of kindness, patience, generosity, or peace beginning to grow, you water them with your attention. You encourage them. You let them flourish. Right. Effort is not about forcing your mind into submission or beating yourself up for having difficult thoughts and emotions. It's a patient, kind practice of gradually inclining your mind toward what leads to peace and away from what leads to suffering. It's like gently training a puppy with lots of patience and encouragement, and starting over every time the puppy wanders off. As you lie here now, you can practice right effort simply by noticing where your mind goes. When it wanders into worry or planning or reviewing past conversations, you can gently notice that, and without any judgment, you can bring your attention back to this moment, to the sensations of your breath, to the support beneath your body, to the simple fact of being alive right here, right now. Right. Mindfulness means maintaining awareness of what's happening in the present moment. The Buddha taught 4 foundations of mindfulness: mindfulness of the body, of feelings, of mind states, and of mental phenomena. Mindfulness is not about achieving some special state of consciousness. It's simply about being awake to your actual experience as it unfolds, moment by moment. Mindfulness of the body means paying attention to physical sensations, the feeling of your breath moving in your chest and belly, the temperature of the air on your skin, the contact between your body and whatever supports it, any areas of tension or ease, pain or pleasure. The body is always in the present moment, so attending to bodily sensations naturally anchors you in the here and now. Mindfulness of feelings doesn't mean emotions in the psychological sense. It means the basic tone of experience. Is this moment pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral? We're constantly having these feeling tones in response to every sight, sound, sensation, taste, and thought. Usually we're not aware of them, but they're driving our reactions. When something feels pleasant, we automatically want more of it. When something feels unpleasant, we automatically want to get away from it. When something feels neutral, we tend to zone out and look for something more interesting. By becoming mindful of these feeling tones, you create a space between the stimulus and your reaction. You can notice this moment feels unpleasant. And instead of immediately reacting with aversion, you can simply acknowledge the unpleasantness and choose how to respond. This is where freedom lives, in the space between what happens and how you respond. Mindfulness of mind states means being aware of the overall quality of your mind in any given moment. Is your mind agitated or calm? Concentrated or scattered? Caught up in desire or free from craving? Clouded by sleepiness or alert? Restricted by worry or expansive with ease? By knowing the state of your mind, you are no longer completely identified with it. There's a part of you that's aware of the mind state, and that awareness itself is not caught in the state. Mindfulness of mental phenomena means observing the patterns and processes of your mind. You can notice when certain mental patterns arise, like doubt, restlessness, desire, aversion, or craving. You can notice how thoughts arise, linger for a while, and then pass away. You can see how identifying with thoughts creates suffering, while simply observing them with detachment creates space and peace. The practice of mindfulness is transformative because it helps you see that you are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions, you are not your body sensations. You are the awareness within which all these things arise and pass. And awareness itself is always okay, always at peace, even when what appears in awareness is difficult or uncomfortable. Right. Concentration is the final aspect of the path. It refers to the ability to focus the mind, to cultivate states of deep peace and absorption through meditation. When the mind is concentrated, it becomes stable, calm, and bright. Distractions fall away, the constant chatter quiets, and in that concentrated state, you can see things with unusual clarity. The Buddha described several stages of meditative concentration, known as jhanas. In these states, the mind becomes progressively more unified, peaceful, and subtly joyful. But you don't need to achieve these refined states to benefit from concentration practice. Simply learning to keep your attention steady for even a few breaths at a time strengthens your mind's capacity to stay present, rather than constantly fragmenting into worries, plans, memories, and distractions. Concentration is developed through meditation practice, through regularly setting aside time to sit quietly and train your attention. But the fruits of concentration spill over into your daily life. A more concentrated mind is less easily disturbed by difficulties, more able to see clearly, more capable of responding skillfully, rather than reacting unconsciously. All 8 aspects of the path work together. Wisdom informs your intentions and ethical choices. Ethical living creates the conditions for a peaceful mind. A peaceful mind can develop concentration. Concentration deepens wisdom. They support and strengthen each other, creating an upward spiral toward greater freedom and peace. But it's important to understand that the path is not linear, and you don't need to perfect one aspect before moving on to the next. You work with all of them simultaneously, doing your best at each point, falling down and starting again, gradually learning and growing. The path is not about becoming perfect. It's about becoming more aware, more kind, more free. Let's explore another central teaching of the Buddha, impermanence, known in Pali as anicca. This teaching states simply that all things change. Nothing remains the same from one moment to the next. Everything that has a beginning has an ending. Whatever is subject to arising is subject to passing away. This might seem like an obvious truth, and in a sense it is. You can see impermanence everywhere if you look. The seasons change, day turns to night. Your body is aging even in this very moment. Your thoughts arise and disappear like bubbles. Your emotions shift like weather patterns. The people in your life are constantly changing, as are you. Even the cells in your body are dying and being replaced continuously. Yet, despite this obvious truth, we live as though things were permanent. We're shocked when relationships end, even though we know intellectually that all relationships eventually end, whether through death or separation. We're devastated when we lose jobs or possessions, even though we know nothing can be held onto forever. We cling desperately to our youth, our health, our achievements, our identities, as if somehow we could freeze time and make this moment last forever. The Buddha taught that this resistance to impermanence is one of the root causes of suffering. We're constantly trying to create permanence in an impermanent world. We're trying to build sandcastles right at the edge of the tide, and then feeling heartbroken when the waves wash them away. The waves aren't the problem. Our expectation that the sandcastle should last forever is the problem. But here's where the teaching becomes profound. The Buddha wasn't telling us about impermanence to make us pessimistic or depressed. He was offering us a key to freedom. When you deeply understand and accept that everything is impermanent, something remarkable happens. You stop clinging so tightly. You stop taking things so personally. You appreciate what you have while you have it, knowing it won't last forever. And this awareness makes everything more precious, more vivid, more real. Think about watching a sunset. Part of what makes it so beautiful is that you know it won't last. You don't spend the sunset trying to hold on to it or panicking about its ending. You simply watch it unfold, moment by moment. And the very fact that it's temporary makes it exquisitely beautiful. The Buddha is inviting us to relate to our entire lives this way. When you're experiencing something pleasant, can you enjoy it fully while also knowing it will change? Can you appreciate the moment without grasping after it, trying to make it last forever? When you're experiencing something unpleasant, can you remember that this too is impermanent? That this difficult moment will pass? That nothing stays the same? This isn't about becoming passive or not caring. It's about holding everything more lightly, with more grace. The teaching of impermanence also applies to your sense of self. The person you were 10 years ago is not the person you are now. Your opinions have changed. Your body has changed. Your relationships have changed. Even from moment to moment, you're different. Different thoughts, different moods, different sensations. So where is this permanent I that you're so concerned about defending and promoting? When you see through the illusion of a permanent self, something relaxes. So much of our suffering comes from trying to protect and promote this self-image, from worrying about what others think of us, from defending our positions and beliefs, from proving we're worthy or valuable or important. But if there's no permanent self to defend, what is there to protect? You can simply be yourself in this moment without needing to be consistent with who you were yesterday or who you think you should be tomorrow. This doesn't mean your past doesn't matter or that you shouldn't have plans for the future. It means recognizing that you're a process, not a thing. You're a verb, not a noun. You're constantly becoming, constantly changing. And that's not something to fear. It's the very nature of being alive. As you rest here now, you can practice with impermanence by noticing your breath. Each in-breath is unique, never to be repeated. Each out-breath is a letting go, a small death. And yet the breath continues, arising and passing, arising and passing. You don't need to control it or hold on to it. You can simply let it flow, trusting the process. Feel your body breathing. Notice how it's always changing. Sensations appearing and disappearing, warmth and coolness shifting, tension and ease moving through. Nothing stays the same, not even for a moment. And yet, in simply observing this flow without resistance, there can be deep peace. The peace is not in making things permanent. The peace is in accepting the dance of change. Closely connected to impermanence is another of the Buddha's key teachings, anatta, which means not self or non-self. This is perhaps the most challenging and most liberating of all Buddhist teachings. It states that there is no permanent, unchanging, independent self. What you call I or me is actually a constantly changing collection of physical and mental processes, all depending on countless conditions, none of which can be said to be truly yours. This doesn't mean you don't exist. You're clearly here, having experiences, listening to these words. What it means is that the solid, separate, independent self you imagine yourself to be is a mental construction, a useful fiction that your mind creates, but that doesn't correspond to the actual nature of your being. The Buddha taught that what we call the self is actually made up of 5 aggregates, 5 categories of phenomena that we mistakenly identify as me. The first aggregate is form, which includes your body and all physical sensations. The second is feeling, those basic tones of pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral that color every experience. The third is perception, the way your mind recognizes and labels things. The fourth is mental formations, which includes all your thoughts, emotions, intentions, and habits. And the fifth is consciousness, the basic awareness that knows experience. None of these 5 aggregates is permanent. Your body changes constantly. Your feelings come and go. Your perceptions shift. Your thoughts and emotions arise and pass like weather. Even consciousness changes, sleeping, waking, concentrated, distracted. And none of these aggregates is independent. Your body depends on food, water, air. Your feelings depend on circumstances. Your thoughts are shaped by language, culture, and everything you've experienced. Nothing stands alone. Everything is interdependent. So when you say I, what are you referring to? If you say my body, that implies there's a you that owns the body, separate from it. If you say my thoughts, that implies there's a you distinct from thoughts. But when you look for this you can never find anything solid or permanent. You find only more processes, more changing phenomena, all interdependent and impermanent. This might sound like a philosophical puzzle, but it has profound practical implications. So much of your suffering comes from identifying with these 5 aggregates and taking everything personally. When someone criticizes you, you feel threatened because you identify with the mental formation of self-image. When your body feels pain, you suffer extra because you identify with the body and think, I am in pain, rather than simply, there is a pain sensation. When you feel an emotion like anger or fear, you suffer because you think, I am angry, or I am afraid, rather than, anger is present, or fear is arising. The teaching of non-self doesn't mean you should suppress your personality or stop taking care of yourself. It means recognizing that this personality, this body, these thoughts and feelings are temporary phenomena that you're experiencing, not the ultimate truth of what you are. When you stop clinging to a fixed identity, you become more fluid, more free, more able to respond appropriately to each situation without being constrained by who you think you are or who you're supposed to be. Non-self also reveals the deep interconnection between all beings. If there's no separate, independent self, then the boundaries between me and not me become less solid. You realize that you're not separate from the air you breathe, the food you eat, the people you love, the earth that supports you. You're more like a wave in the ocean, distinct and unique, yet inseparable from the whole ocean. This realization naturally gives rise to compassion, because the suffering of others is not happening to someone separate from you. It's happening within the same field of existence that you're part of. Let your sense of self soften now. Notice the sensations of breathing, but don't identify with them as my breath. Just breath happening. Notice any sounds, but don't label them as happening to you. Just sounds arising in awareness. Notice any thoughts, but don't claim ownership of them. Just thoughts appearing and disappearing. In this simple practice of not grasping at experiences as mine, you might touch a sense of spaciousness, of freedom, of being less burdened. The Buddha taught about karma, which is often misunderstood in popular culture. Karma is not some cosmic system of rewards and punishments, not fate or destiny, and not something that justifies inequality or suffering. Karma simply means action, and specifically, intentional action. The law of karma is the law of cause and effect as it applies to intentional actions and their consequences. The key word is intention. The Buddha taught that actions motivated by greed, hatred, or delusion tend to lead to suffering, both for yourself and others. Actions motivated by generosity, love, and wisdom tend to lead to happiness and well-being. This isn't mysterious or supernatural. It's simply how things work. When you act from anger, you create ripples of anger that affect everyone around you and also reinforce patterns of anger in your own mind, making it easier to become angry again in the future. When you act from kindness, you create ripples of kindness that benefit others and also strengthen your own capacity for kindness. Your intentions and actions literally shape who you become. Karma is not about judgment or punishment from some external source. It's about recognizing that you have agency, that your choices matter, that you're not helpless. Every moment offers an opportunity to act in ways that create more suffering or less suffering, more connection or more isolation, more peace or more conflict. And the patterns you establish now will influence your future experiences. This teaching is empowering because it means you're not stuck with whoever you are right now. If you've developed habits of anxiety or anger or selfishness, you can develop new habits. It won't happen overnight, and it will take patience and effort, but it's possible. Every single moment is a fresh opportunity to choose a different response, to plant different seeds, that will grow into different fruits. Understanding karma deeply changes how you live. You become more careful with your actions, words, and thoughts, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. You recognize that you're creating your future experience with every choice you make now. And you realize that blaming others or circumstances for your unhappiness doesn't help. Because even if external factors contributed, your response is what determines your actual experience. The ultimate goal in Buddhism is not to accumulate good karma, however. It's to be free from the whole cycle of karma, to reach a state of liberation called nirvana. Nirvana is not a place, but a state of being in which craving, aversion, and delusion have been extinguished. It's complete freedom from suffering, a peace beyond description. This might sound far away, something only for monks who dedicate their entire lives to practice. But the Buddha taught that anyone can experience moments of this freedom, tastes of liberation. Every time you let go of a grudge, you experience a moment of freedom. Every time you're fully present without judgment, you touch something close to nirvana. Every time you act from pure compassion with no thought of reward, you're expressing your Buddha nature. The Buddha also taught about the conditions that support liberation. One important aspect is the practice of the 4 divine abodes, also called the Brahma Viharas. These are 4 qualities of heart that, when cultivated, bring great peace and happiness: loving kindness, compassion, appreciative joy, and equanimity. Loving kindness, or metta, is the wish for beings to be happy. It's a warm-hearted, friendly, benevolent attitude toward yourself and all others. It's not romantic love or attachment. It's a basic goodwill, a sense that everyone deserves happiness and freedom from suffering. You can practice loving kindness right now. Start by directing kind wishes toward yourself. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe. May I live with ease. Feel these phrases not as empty words, but as genuine wishes for your own well-being. If it feels difficult to wish yourself well, that's okay. Notice that difficulty with compassion. You deserve kindness as much as anyone else does. Then extend these wishes to others. Perhaps someone you love. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you live with ease. Then to someone neutral, perhaps someone you see regularly but don't know well. Then, if you're ready, even to someone difficult, someone you have conflict with. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. May you live with ease. Finally, extend these wishes to all beings everywhere. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings be safe. May all beings live with ease. Feel your heart expanding to include more and more beings in its circle of care. This isn't just a nice sentiment. It's a powerful practice that actually rewires your brain, making you more kind, more peaceful, more connected. The second divine abode is compassion, or karuna. While loving kindness is the wish for beings to be happy, compassion is the response to suffering. It's the wish for beings to be free from suffering, and the willingness to help alleviate suffering where possible. Compassion involves feeling with others in their pain, not in a way that overwhelms you, but in a way that moves you to help. True compassion includes yourself. So many people are compassionate toward others, but harsh and judgmental toward themselves. The Buddha would say this is unbalanced. Self-compassion means treating yourself with the same kindness you would offer a dear friend. When you make a mistake, when you're struggling, when you're in pain, can you respond with gentleness rather than self-criticism? Can you say to yourself, "This is hard. I'm doing my best. May I be kind to myself in this moment?" Compassion doesn't mean approving of every action or never setting boundaries. It means recognizing that all beings, including yourself, are struggling in various ways, trying to find happiness and avoid suffering, often through unskillful means because we don't know better. When you see behavior through this lens of compassion, it's easier to respond with wisdom rather than reactivity. The third divine abode is appreciative joy, or mudita. This is the ability to rejoice in the happiness and success of others. It's the opposite of jealousy or envy. When something good happens to someone else, can you genuinely feel happy for them? Can you celebrate their joy without needing to diminish it or compare it to your own situation? Appreciative joy is challenging because we often see life as a competition, as though there's limited happiness to go around, and if someone else gets some, there's less for us. But joy isn't like that. Someone else's happiness doesn't diminish yours. In fact, by rejoicing in the happiness of others, you multiply joy. You get to feel not only your own happiness, but also share in the happiness of everyone around you. This practice is especially powerful when you're feeling down or discouraged. Instead of wallowing in your own difficulties, you can look around and notice all the good things happening. A child laughing, friends connecting, someone achieving a goal, flowers blooming, a meal being shared. You can let these moments of joy lift your spirit, even when your own life feels challenging. The fourth divine abode is equanimity, or upekkha. Equanimity is a balanced, spacious quality of mind that isn't thrown off balance by life's ups and downs. It's not indifference or apathy. It's a deep, stable peace that comes from understanding the nature of things and not being attached to outcomes. With equanimity, you can care deeply about people and situations without being consumed by anxiety about them. You can do your best to help without taking on everyone's suffering as your own. You can recognize that everyone has their own karma, their own path, their own lessons to learn, and while you can offer support, you can't control outcomes or fix everything for everyone. Equanimity is the wisdom that allows you to accept what cannot be changed, have the courage to change what can be changed, and have the wisdom to know the difference. It's the quality that allows you to remain centered and peaceful, even when circumstances are difficult, knowing that this too shall pass. These four divine abodes, loving kindness, compassion, appreciative joy, and equanimity, work together. Loving kindness wishes for happiness. Compassion responds to suffering. Appreciative joy celebrates when things go well, And equanimity provides the stable ground that allows you to stay present with all of it without being overwhelmed. As you rest here, you can practice touching each of these qualities. Feel the kindness in allowing yourself this time to rest. Feel compassion for any pain or struggle you're carrying. Feel appreciation for this moment of peace, this breath, this body that carries you through life. And feel the equanimity of knowing that you're okay right now, just as you are, and that everything is unfolding as it will, with a wisdom larger than your small concerns. Let's explore the Buddha's teaching on the middle way, which we touched on earlier but deserves deeper attention. The middle way is not about lukewarm commitment or finding a mediocre compromise between extremes. It's about wisdom and balance, about finding what's truly helpful rather than getting caught in extreme views or behaviors that create more suffering. The Buddha discovered the middle way through his own experience. Before his awakening, he tried two extremes. First, as a prince, he lived a life of luxury and sensory indulgence, having every pleasure available to him. But he found this life left him feeling empty and unfulfilled. Then he became an ascetic, denying his body food and comfort, pushing himself to the very edge of death through extreme self-discipline. But this too didn't bring him the peace and freedom he sought. Sitting under the Bodhi tree after accepting nourishment, he realized that liberation doesn't come from indulging every desire or from punishing the body and mind. It comes from a balanced path that honors the body's needs while training the mind in wisdom and compassion. This insight became the foundation of his teaching. The middle way applies to every aspect of life. In your meditation practice, it means not being so loose and casual that you never develop any depth, but also not being so tight and forcing that you create tension and aversion. In ethical conduct, it means not being rigid and judgmental, but also not being lax and permissive. In relationships, it means not clinging desperately, but also not being cold and distant. The middle way is dynamic, not static. What's balanced in one situation might be an extreme in another. Sometimes you need to be more active, more assertive. Other times you need to be more receptive, more yielding. The wisdom is in being able to read the situation and respond appropriately, not in following a fixed rule. In relation to your emotions, the middle way means not suppressing what you feel, pretending everything is fine when it's not, but also not being completely overwhelmed and identified with every emotion that arises. You can acknowledge your emotions, feel them in your body, understand what they're trying to communicate, and then choose how to respond, rather than reacting automatically. With thoughts, the middle way means not believing every thought as absolute truth, but also not trying to stop all thinking. Thoughts are natural. They arise on their own. The question is whether you're enslaved by them or whether you can observe them with some space and perspective. The middle way also applies to the speed and intensity of spiritual practice. Some people try to force rapid transformation through intense practice, and they burn out or create new tensions. Others barely practice at all and wonder why nothing changes. The wise path is consistent, sustainable practice that gradually transforms you over time without forcing or straining. Think of it like tuning a musical instrument. If the strings are too tight, they'll break. If they're too loose, they won't make proper sound. The middle way is finding that point of balance where the instrument can sing. One of the Buddha's most practical teachings was about mindfulness in daily life, about bringing awareness to every action. This isn't limited to formal meditation. It's about living with presence and intentionality in everything you do. When you're eating, can you actually taste your food rather than eating mindlessly while scrolling through your phone? When you're walking, can you feel your feet touching the ground? Feel your body moving through space? When you're talking with someone, can you actually listen rather than planning what you're going to say next? This quality of presence transforms ordinary activities into opportunities for awakening. Washing dishes becomes a meditation on the sensation of warm water and soap bubbles. Waiting in line becomes a practice in patience and observing the mind's desire to always be somewhere else. Even challenging conversations become chances to practice speaking truthfully while also listening deeply. The Buddha taught that mindfulness should be maintained throughout the day in what he called the 4 postures: sitting, standing, walking, and lying down. In other words, all the time. This doesn't mean you need to be intensely concentrated every moment. It means maintaining a thread of awareness, a gentle background knowing of what you're doing and how you're being. When you lose that thread, and you will many times a day, you simply notice that it's been lost and gently pick it back up again. No judgment, no frustration, just beginning again. This is the practice. Not achieving perfect mindfulness, but cultivating the habit of returning to presence over and over again, as many times as needed. A central practice in Buddhism is meditation, and there are many forms of meditation taught across different Buddhist traditions. The Buddha himself taught several different techniques, but they all share common elements. They involve deliberately cultivating attention and awareness. They require regular practice, and they lead to greater peace, clarity, and freedom. One foundational practice is mindfulness of breathing. It's beautifully simple, yet profoundly effective. You simply bring your attention to the sensation of breathing, perhaps the feeling of air moving through your nostrils, or the rising and falling of your chest or belly. You don't try to control your breath, you just observe it as it is, natural and effortless. When your mind wanders, which it will constantly at first, you gently bring your attention back to the breath. No scolding yourself, no frustration, just a patient return, again and again. Each time you notice you've wandered and come back is actually a moment of success, not failure. You're strengthening your capacity for awareness. Through this practice, several things happen. You begin to see how busy and scattered your mind normally is, constantly jumping from thought to thought. You develop the ability to anchor yourself in the present moment, rather than being lost in past or future. You learn to observe your thoughts and emotions without being completely caught up in them. And gradually, a natural calm arises, not because you're forcing it, but because you're creating the conditions for it to emerge. Another powerful practice is loving-kindness meditation, which we touched on earlier. This involves systematically directing kind wishes toward yourself and others, gradually expanding the circle of your compassion to include all beings. Regular practice of loving-kindness meditation has been shown in scientific studies to increase positive emotions, decrease anxiety and depression, and even improve physical health. But beyond these benefits, it simply feels good. It makes your heart more tender, more open, more capable of genuine connection. There's also walking meditation, where you bring mindful attention to the act of walking. You feel each step, the lifting of the foot, the moving through air, the placing down, the shift of weight. You walk slowly enough to really feel everything, perhaps in a quiet space indoors or in nature. This practice is especially helpful if sitting still feels too difficult, or if you need to move and release some physical energy before you can settle into stillness. Body scanning is another valuable practice. You systematically bring attention to different parts of your body, from your toes up to your crown, simply observing whatever sensations are present without trying to change them. This helps develop interoceptive awareness, the ability to sense what's happening inside your body, which is crucial for emotional regulation and self-understanding. Some people find visualization practices helpful, imagining peaceful scenes or beneficial light flowing through their body and mind. Others resonate with practices that involve contemplation, like reflecting on impermanence or interconnection, or the preciousness of human life. The Buddha encouraged his students to find the practices that work for their particular temperament and situation. What matters more than the specific technique is consistency. Better to practice for 10 minutes daily than to practice for 2 hours once a month. Regular practice creates grooves in the mind, patterns that make it easier to access calm and clarity. It's like brushing your teeth. You do it every day, not because your teeth need a dramatic cleaning every time, but because consistent care prevents problems and maintains health. Many people say they don't have time to meditate, but consider, you probably have time to check your phone multiple times a day, to watch television, to scroll through social media. What if you devoted even half that time to caring for your inner life? The benefits would ripple through every other aspect of your life. When your mind is clearer and calmer, you make better decisions, you relate more skillfully with others, you enjoy life more fully. Even difficult aspects of life become more manageable. The obstacles to practice are not usually external, they're internal. The mind resists sitting still because it's uncomfortable to face yourself without distraction. Meditation brings you face to face with your restless thoughts, your uncomfortable emotions, your deepest fears and longings. It's easier to stay busy, to stay distracted, to never pause and look inward. But the Buddha taught that this avoidance is precisely what keeps you trapped in suffering. You can't transcend what you won't acknowledge. You can't heal what you refuse to feel. The path to freedom goes through your actual experience, not around it. And what you'll discover, if you have the courage to practice, is that what you've been avoiding isn't as terrible as you feared. Your thoughts and emotions, when you simply observe them with mindfulness and kindness, lose much of their power to disturb you. Let's talk about suffering in a more nuanced way. The Buddha didn't teach that you should never feel pain or that something's wrong with you if you're struggling. He taught that pain is inevitable. Physical pain, emotional pain, the pain of loss and disappointment. This is the first arrow. What creates suffering is how we respond to pain, the resistance, the stories, the self-judgment, the desperation to make it stop. This is the second arrow, the one we shoot ourselves with. When you're in pain and you add the thought, "This shouldn't be happening," you suffer more. When you're sad and you judge yourself as weak for being sad, you suffer more. When you're anxious and you panic about being anxious, creating anxiety about your anxiety, you suffer more. The second arrow multiplies the impact of the first. But you can learn to put down that second arrow. You can learn to be with pain without adding suffering on top of it. This doesn't make the pain disappear, but it radically changes your relationship to it. Instead of pain plus resistance plus judgment plus story plus panic, you just have pain. And pain experienced with acceptance and kindness is much more manageable than pain experienced with all those additional layers of suffering. This is what the Buddha meant when he said suffering can end. Not that pain will end. The Buddha himself experienced physical pain, he aged, he got sick, he died. But the suffering that comes from resistance to pain, from grasping at pleasure, from identification with a separate self, that can end. And in its ending, there's a profound peace that's available even in difficult circumstances. Consider the difference between clean pain and dirty pain. Clean pain is what happens when life happens. A loss, a disappointment, a physical injury. It hurts, but if you can be with it without all the added layers, it moves through you and then changes, as all things do. Dirty pain is what you add on top. The rumination, the blame, the catastrophizing, the why me, the comparison to others who seem to have it easier, the shame about feeling what you feel. Most of our suffering is actually dirty pain, not clean pain. The original difficulty might be 10% of the total suffering, while our reaction to it and our resistance to it makes up the other 90%. This is why Buddhist practice focuses so much on working with the mind. It's not that external circumstances don't matter. It's that your relationship to those circumstances determines much more about your well-being than the circumstances themselves. Two people can face the same challenge, let's say a job loss, and have completely different experiences. One might see it as a catastrophe, a personal failure, a sign that their life is falling apart, and might spiral into depression and paralysis. Another might see it as difficult, but also as an opportunity for change, a chance to reassess what they really want, a temporary setback that they'll navigate with patience and creativity. Same circumstance, radically different experience, determined entirely by the mind's response. The Buddha wasn't asking you to pretend difficulties aren't difficult, or to paste a smile over genuine pain. He was offering tools for working with your mind, so that you don't multiply suffering unnecessarily. And these tools work. Countless people over millennia have found real freedom through these practices. The Buddha often spoke about suffering in vivid terms, and one of his most powerful teachings is about the different types of suffering humans experience. There's the suffering of pain, physical hurt, illness, aging. There's the suffering of change, the fact that pleasant things don't last, that joy turns to sorrow when what we love is lost. And there's the suffering of conditioned existence itself, the underlying unsatisfactoriness of living in a body-mind system that's constantly needing, constantly changing, never fully under our control. This might sound depressing, but remember, the Buddha wasn't trying to make you pessimistic. He was trying to help you see clearly so you could find genuine freedom. If you're constantly surprised and devastated by the fact that things change, that you can't control everything, that life includes difficulty, you'll suffer unnecessarily. But if you deeply understand these aspects of existence, you can meet them with more grace. The suffering of pain is straightforward. Bodies get sick, injured, worn down by age. Minds experience emotional pain when relationships end, when we fail at things we care about, when we feel isolated or misunderstood. The Buddha wasn't saying you should be able to avoid all pain. That's impossible. He was saying you can change your relationship to pain so it doesn't become overwhelming suffering. Pain plus resistance equals suffering. Pain accepted with as much grace as you can muster is just pain. Difficult, yes, but workable. The resistance is what makes it unbearable. When you're in physical pain and you're also telling yourself stories about how awful it is, how it shouldn't be happening, how you can't stand it, the suffering multiplies. When you can breathe with the pain, acknowledge it without all the extra narrative, it's still painful, but somehow more manageable. The same is true for emotional pain. When you're sad and you also judge yourself for being sad, telling yourself you shouldn't feel this way or that something's wrong with you for feeling what you feel, the sadness becomes mixed with shame and resistance, creating a heavier burden. When you can simply allow sadness to be present, to feel it fully without the extra layers, it moves through more naturally. The suffering of change is about how we cling to pleasant experiences, wanting them to last forever, and how disappointed we are when they inevitably change. You have a wonderful vacation, and even while you're enjoying it, there's an undercurrent of sadness because you know it will end. You achieve a goal you've worked hard for, and the satisfaction lasts only briefly before you're looking for the next achievement. You fall in love, and even in the midst of joy, there's fear of loss. This suffering comes from not fully accepting impermanence. We know intellectually that everything changes, but we act as though we could hold on to things, freeze moments, keep circumstances exactly as they are when they're pleasant. The Buddha's teaching isn't to stop enjoying pleasant things, it's to enjoy them fully while they're here, without grasping, knowing they'll change. And that knowing actually makes the joy more poignant, more real. The suffering of conditioned existence is the subtlest and most pervasive. It's the background sense that something's not quite right, that you're not quite complete, that you need to be doing or achieving or becoming something more. It's the constant low-level dissatisfaction that drives you to keep seeking, keep consuming, keep trying to fill an inner void that never seems to get filled. This suffering comes from the illusion of a separate self that needs to be maintained and defended. As long as you believe you're a separate, vulnerable entity in a potentially hostile world, there's anxiety. You need things to go your way. You need approval from others. You need to be successful, attractive, smart, worthy. It's exhausting. But when you see through this illusion, when you experience directly that you're not separate but intimately connected to everything, this background suffering dissolves. You don't need to prove anything or become anything. You can simply be fully and completely, and that's enough. This doesn't mean you stop having preferences or working toward goals. It means you're no longer driven by desperate need, but by natural expression of your being. Understanding these 3 types of suffering helps you work with them skillfully. You stop adding unnecessary suffering on top of inevitable pain. You hold pleasant experiences more lightly, enjoying them without desperate clinging. And gradually, through practice and insight, you touch the freedom that comes from seeing through the illusion of a separate self. Take a moment now to notice what you're feeling. If there's physical discomfort, can you feel it without the story that it's terrible and shouldn't be there? If there's emotional difficulty, can you acknowledge it with kindness rather than judgment? And underneath it all, can you sense that you're okay right now in this moment, even if everything isn't perfect? That okayness is always available, beneath the surface waves of pleasant and unpleasant experience. The Buddha taught about gratitude and its role in spiritual practice. Gratitude isn't just a nice feeling, it's a practice that shifts your entire relationship with life. When you focus on what's wrong, what's missing, what you wish were different, your mind becomes contracted and dissatisfied. When you notice what's already good, what you do have, what is working, your mind becomes spacious and content. This doesn't mean denying difficulties or pretending everything is fine when it's not. It means choosing where to place your attention. Both difficulty and beauty are present in any given moment. Both lack and abundance exist simultaneously. You're always choosing what to focus on, even if that choice is unconscious. Gratitude is the practice of consciously choosing to notice the good. Research has shown that people who regularly practice gratitude are happier, healthier, more resilient, and even sleep better. This isn't because their lives are objectively better than others. It's because they're attending to different aspects of their experience. 2 people can have very similar circumstances and feel entirely different depending on what they notice and appreciate versus what they resent and wish were different. A simple gratitude practice involves taking a few moments each day, perhaps before sleep, to reflect on what you're grateful for. Not in a superficial way, just listing things mechanically, but really feeling into appreciation. Maybe you're grateful for a warm bed, for running water, for a kind word from a friend, for your ability to see or hear or walk, for the fact that your heart keeps beating without you having to think about it. The more specific you can be, the more powerful the practice. Instead of I'm grateful for my family. You might recall a specific moment. The way your child laughed today, the hug your partner gave you, the phone call from your parent. These specific memories activate the feeling of gratitude more vividly than abstract categories. Gratitude is especially powerful as an antidote to envy and resentment. When you find yourself comparing your life unfavorably to others, feeling bitter about what you don't have, you can pause and shift your attention. What do you have that others might lack, even in difficulty? What small goods are present? This isn't to minimize real struggles, but to maintain balance, to not be completely overwhelmed by what's hard. The Buddhist teaching on generosity is closely connected to gratitude. When you feel abundant, when you notice what you have rather than what you lack, generosity arises naturally. You want to share, and the act of giving time, energy, resources, attention, kindness itself creates a sense of abundance. It's a beautiful cycle. Generosity is considered one of the most fundamental practices in Buddhism, even more basic than meditation in some ways. Giving helps loosen the tight grip of self-centeredness. It connects you with others. It creates positive karma. And it's immediately accessible. You don't need years of training to be generous. You can do it right now, in whatever way is appropriate to your circumstances. Giving doesn't have to be material. You can give your time, listening to someone who needs to talk. You can give encouragement, noticing someone's efforts and acknowledging them. You can give patience, not rushing someone who's slower than you. You can give forgiveness, releasing grudges that bind both you and the other person. You can give joy, sharing someone's happiness without jealousy. All of these are forms of generosity that enrich both giver and receiver. There's a teaching about 3 types of giving. The lowest is when you give reluctantly, perhaps because you feel obligated or want something in return. Higher is giving that feels good, where you enjoy the act of giving and feel good about being generous. The highest is giving that comes from such deep wisdom and compassion that you don't even notice you're giving. It's just natural expression, like a tree giving shade without thinking about it. You can practice moving toward that highest form by noticing when you give with strings attached or with self-congratulation. Can you give more purely, with less ego involved? Can you give anonymously sometimes, so you don't get credit? Can you give to those who can't repay you? These practices help purify your giving, making it more about genuine care and less about bolstering your self-image. As you rest here, you might reflect on the generosity you've received in your life, from parents or caregivers, from teachers, from friends, from strangers whose work makes your life possible, from the earth itself that provides everything you need. Feel the gratitude for all you've been given, and consider how you might express generosity in your own life, in ways large or small, sharing what you have with others. The concept of Buddha nature is central to Mahayana Buddhism, though it's also recognized in other traditions under different names. Buddha nature refers to the innate potential for awakening that exists in all beings. You are not fundamentally flawed or broken. Deep within you, beneath all the conditioning and confusion, is wisdom, compassion, and peace. Your true nature is already enlightened. The practice is about uncovering what's always been there. This is a radically hopeful teaching. It means you're not trying to become someone you're not. You're not importing something from outside. You're removing the obscurations that hide your inherent Buddha nature. It's like cleaning dust off a mirror. The mirror's reflective quality was always there, just hidden. What are the obscurations? The patterns of greed, hatred, and delusion. The identification with a limited sense of self. The beliefs and stories about who you are that keep you trapped in small, constricted ways of being. The habits of reactivity that keep you cycling through the same suffering. All of these can be worked with, gradually released. Recognizing Buddha nature in yourself changes how you relate to your difficulties. Instead of thinking, "I'm a fundamentally anxious person," or "I'm just not good at relationships," you can see that these are patterns, not your essential nature. Patterns can be changed. Your true nature is much vaster than any personality trait or habitual tendency. Recognizing Buddha nature in others transforms your relationships. Even when someone is acting harmfully or unskillfully, you can remember that beneath their behavior is Buddha nature, temporarily obscured. This doesn't mean you tolerate abuse or don't set boundaries. It means you don't write people off as irredeemable. Everyone has the potential to wake up, to change, to express their innate goodness. This understanding naturally gives rise to compassion. If you see that everyone is suffering from being disconnected from their true nature, from being caught in patterns of confusion and reactivity, how could you not feel compassion? They're not evil, they're lost. And you know what being lost feels like because you've been lost too. We're all finding our way toward the light that's always been shining within us. Sometimes people worry that if they're already enlightened in their Buddha nature, why bother practicing? But having the potential for something isn't the same as realizing it. A seed contains the potential to become a tree, but it needs the right conditions: soil, water, light, time. Your Buddha nature needs the conditions of practice to fully manifest. And even glimpsing your Buddha nature, having moments where the clouds part and you see clearly, is different from stable realization. The glimpses are important. They show you what's possible. They give you direction. But then the clouds close again. The old patterns reassert themselves. And you have to keep practicing, keep clearing, keep returning to truth. Over time, with consistent practice, the clear moments become more frequent and last longer. The patterns have less grip. You're able to access your natural wisdom and compassion more readily. This is the path, not dramatic transformation overnight, but gradual clarification, like the sun slowly burning through morning fog. Let yourself rest in the understanding that you are already whole, already complete, even if you don't always feel it. The struggles you experience, the ways you judge yourself as lacking or broken, these are like clouds passing across the sky of your true nature. The sky is never damaged by the clouds. It remains vast, clear, and spacious, always there behind whatever weather is passing through. Now, as we move toward the deepest rest, let's touch on the ultimate teaching, the possibility of awakening, of complete liberation from suffering. The Buddha called this nirvana, and it's both simpler and more profound than most people imagine. It's not a place you go. It's not something you achieve after years of perfect practice. It's what's revealed when the obscurations fall away, when the mind stops its constant grasping and resisting and simply rests in its natural state. You don't have to become someone else to awaken. You don't have to acquire something you don't have. You simply need to stop obscuring your true nature with layers of conditioning, reactivity, and false identification. It's like cleaning dust off a mirror. The mirror's capacity to reflect was always there, just temporarily hidden. Every moment of genuine presence is a taste of awakening. Every time you let go of a grudge, you experience a small liberation. Every time you're fully here without wanting things to be different, you're touching the peace that's always available. Awakening isn't some far-off goal. It's here, available in this very moment, whenever you stop struggling and simply allow yourself to be. The Buddha's final words to his disciples were, "All conditioned things are subject to decay. Strive on with diligence." This captures the essence of the teaching. Everything changes, including you, including your suffering, including your confusion. Nothing is permanent. And this impermanence is actually good news because it means transformation is always possible. The person you are today isn't who you'll be tomorrow if you keep practicing. Strive on with diligence doesn't mean strain and force. It means show up consistently. Keep practicing. Don't give up when it's difficult. Trust the process. The path works if you walk it. Countless beings have found freedom this way. You can too. But also remember the Buddha's teaching about effortless effort, about trying without straining. The deepest changes often happen not through forcing, but through allowing, not through grasping, but through releasing. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply stop. Stop trying to be different. Stop resisting what is. Stop the constant struggle. And in that stopping, you may discover a peace that was there all along, beneath the turbulence. As sleep draws near, let all these teachings settle into your heart, like seeds being planted in fertile soil. You don't need to remember everything you've heard tonight. What you need will remain with you, growing in the darkness of not knowing, blossoming in its own time. Trust this process. Feel your body breathing, completely supported by what holds you. Feel the spaciousness around each breath, the ease of simply being here. You don't have to do anything right now. You don't have to become anyone. You can simply rest in the awareness that's always here, the awareness that witnesses your thoughts and emotions without being disturbed by them, the awareness that is your deepest nature. Let go of everything you've been carrying. Let go of the day's concerns, the week's worries, the year's burdens. Let go of who you think you should be, what you think you should have accomplished, where you think you should be by now. Let go of judgments about yourself and others. Let go of the need to figure everything out. Let go of resistance to what is. Just let it all go, if only for this moment, if only for this night. You are held by something much larger than your small concerns. You're part of the vast web of existence, connected to everything, supported by everything. The same awareness that looks through your eyes looks through all eyes. The same life force that beats your heart beats in all hearts. You're never separate, never truly alone, always part of the whole. Rest in this understanding. Rest in the Buddha's wisdom that has guided so many before you. Rest in the knowledge that you're on a path that leads to freedom, even if you can't see very far ahead right now. Each step you take toward awareness, toward kindness, toward peace, matters. Each moment of presence plants seeds for future awakening. And for now, simply rest. Let your mind grow quiet like a pond settling after stones have stopped disturbing its surface. Let your body release its tension like a clenched fist slowly opening. Let your heart soften like ice melting in the sun. There's nowhere else you need to be, nothing else you need to do, no one else you need to become. You are enough, exactly as you are. Your struggles, your imperfections, your moments of confusion and fear, all of it is part of being human, and it's all workable. The Buddha saw his own difficult emotions, his own patterns, his own confusion, and he found a way through. Not by becoming perfect, but by understanding the nature of mind and reality so deeply that he was no longer enslaved by his patterns. This same understanding is available to you, not all at once, but gradually, through patient practice and gentle perseverance. Each day you practice, each moment you choose awareness over automaticity. Each time you respond with kindness instead of cruelty, you're moving toward freedom. Tonight, as you drift into sleep, you can release all effort. You've done enough. You are enough. Let the wisdom you've touched tonight work on you in ways your conscious mind cannot track. Let it seep into the depths of your being, transforming you from the inside out. Trust that this process is happening even when you're not aware of it. May you sleep deeply and peacefully. May you wake refreshed and renewed. May your practice deepen and your heart continue to open. May you find increasing moments of freedom from suffering, and may you know, in the very core of your being, that you're on a path that leads home. Home to your true nature, home to peace, home to the love that's always been waiting for you to stop running and simply arrive. If you'd like to explore more teachings like this, check out our other videos on the Sleepy Wisdom Library channel. We have content on philosophy, spirituality, and wisdom traditions from around the world, all designed to help you rest deeply while nourishing your mind and heart. But for now, there's nothing more to do. Just breathe, just rest, just be. The universe is breathing you. Your heart is beating without your effort. Life is living itself through you. You can trust this. You can surrender into it. You can let go. Good night, dear friend. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. May you wake to the truth of who you really are. Rest well.